This video will contain spoilers. You have been warned. I have been wanting to do something like this for a very long time, and that is a movie prediction. What do I predict might happen in a future movie thanks to a recent announcement, or mid-credit scene and post-credit scene? Today, I will be predicting what might happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 4. We all knew a fourth movie was in the works after the mid-credit scene and post-credit scene, especially the success of the third film, to which, by the way, Keanu Reeves, fantastic job as Shadow. That man literally brought Shadow to life. The voice fitted so perfect. So let's break down what we knew from both scenes. Before the mid-credit scene, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails were having a race which led to the mid-credits. In the event of the mid-credit scene, it involves Sonic taking a wrong turn and ended up in New York, mostly in New York State Park. After admitting he overshot the finish line, we see a jolt of electricity in the background, and out came Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic tried to kill Sonic from behind, but Sonic dodged the attack, retaliated, but only caused little to no damage to Metal Sonic. Then a whole army of Metal Sonics arrived, tried to dogpile Sonic, and out of nowhere, a hammer and a pink aura flew in, demolishing the Metal Sonic army. The hammer flew into the hands of a mysterious cloaked figure with the moon split in half and drop slammed the final Metal Sonic. The cloaked figure revealed herself to be our favorite pink hedgehog, Amy Rose, who actually looks really good in the movie. Because of these events, the fourth Sonic movie will be centered mostly around Sonic CD, the introductions of Amy and Metal Sonic. I will get to the events of the post-credit scene later. I have boiled down my prediction into 4 categories, and each one will have their own standpoint within each category. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and here's my prediction with Sonic the Hedgehog 4 movie. After steering the laser from the Space Colony Ark away from Earth, much to Gerald Robotnik's plan to destroy the Earth in revenge of Maria's death, while slicing the moon in the process, the reactor from the Ark was overloading, thus moments away from exploding, which Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, implies that it may cause an extinction to the human population due to the radioactive atmosphere if the Ark explodes. In doing so, Shadow decided to move the Ark away from the Earth while Robotnik stabilizes the Ark, while saying goodbye to Agent Stone, aka the Goat Milker.
It's the Goat Milker! It's the Goat Milker!
And when the Ark did explode, we assumed that Dr. Robotnik and Shadow died in the explosion. However, in the post-credit scene, we see a ring sticking out of the ground like a tire, and it's revealed that Shadow survived the explosion. And so we are saying to ourselves, will Dr. Robotnik be back for the fourth film? That is a good question that I don't know the answer to. However, after an interview from Jim Carrey, the actor of both Robotniks stated that he is open to play Dr. Robotnik again, even after Robotnik sacrificed himself to save the Earth. But what if we see Robotnik again, but in a different timeline? In Sonic CD, there is a gimmick known as time traveling. Using the power of the Time Stones, Sonic can go back in time or go to the future. So we may be seeing another version of Robotnik. But what other version of Eggman is there? Well, we get the Eggman that we know and love, and Gerald Robotnik. But he's dead after getting electrocuted by Supersonic's quill in the buttocks. That just leaves Eggman Nega, debuted in Sonic Rush. Though he is a doppelganger of Dr. Eggman more than a different version, so who knows, Dr. Eggman himself might have survived the explosion? We don't know. And something else to point out, because Metal Sonic is the new villain in the 4th movie, I would not be surprised if Dr. Robotnik does not make an appearance. The next prediction involves Amy. With Sonic CD introducing Amy into the Sonic cast, she was known as Rosie the Rascal, who, just like Princess Peach being the damsel in distress for Nintendo, Amy is Sega's damsel in distress by being kidnapped by Metal Sonic. However, by how things were played out in the mid-credit scene in Sonic 3, my prediction is Amy will not be kidnapped by Metal Sonic at all, and will instead have Sonic be the male version of the damsel in distress, by having Sonic be kidnapped, and so Amy has to save Sonic from Metal Sonic. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but I don't think it would be a problem considering her Pico Pico hammer has beaten down the Metal Sonics with ease. In Amy's earlier years in the Sonic franchise, she was very young, 8 years old at the time, wearing a green t-shirt with an orange skirt and blue shoes, and went by the name Rosie the Rascal. But games like Sonic the Fighters used the name Amy and had Rosie the Rascal as like her fighting name. Starting with Sonic Adventures onwards, Amy's appearance has changed, with her sporting a pink dress, red boots, and rings on her arms, similar to Shadow's rings on his arms, and became the age of 12 years old. However, in the mid-credit scene, the only clothing we see on Amy, I know that sounded weird, was her wearing a cloak and her red boots. So I am thinking that we could see her Adventures Onwards attire, but when after Sonic introduces himself. The third prediction has been going over all throughout the series, and it involves Maddie. No, I don't think anything bad was going to happen with Maddie, but it is known as the Maddie t-shirt theory. If you weren't paying attention to the details, during each mid-credit scene, a new Sonic character with the color of Maddie's shirt shows up. In the first movie, during the San Francisco scene, she was shown wearing a yellow t-shirt similar to Tails' color. When the mid-credits scene happened, Tails showed up. In the second movie, during the Dr. Robotnik battle, Maddie was seen wearing a black jacket and a red t-shirt similar to Shadow's color. And sure enough, Shadow shows up. And in the third film, Maddie was shown wearing a pink sweater in not just the camping portion, but in the promotional poster as well, similar to Amy. Sure enough, in the mid-credits scene, Amy shows up. If this tradition continues, colors we still haven't seen yet involve a silver-colored shirt for Silver, purple for either SBO, Blaze, or Big the Cat, green for Vector, orange for Cream the Rabbit, and the list goes on and on. But if there is one color scheme that I would love to see with this tradition, a black jacket with a bright pink shirt, similar to Rouge the Bat. Like, I am surprised we never got Rouge in the third film. She and Shadow make a great team. But I know the third film centered around Sonic Adventures 2. But like I said, Rouge the Bat and Shadow the Hedgehog make a great team, like in Sonic X with the Chaos Emerald heist. This is the final prediction, and this one is a bit controversial. We all have different opinions with this topic, which is why I put this one last on this list. And it involves shipping, and I don't mean Amazon Prime. Shipping is taking two characters together, grouping them in a romantic relationship. The Sonic the Hedgehog series fell into this category. And with rumors going around that the fourth film is speculated to be a romantic comedy, This is why I am mentioning this point. Now, we all have different opinions on what ship we all center around with Sonic the Hedgehog, such as Shad Amy, Shadow and Amy, Sonado, Sonic and Shadow, which is pretty weird in my opinion, because I don't think Sega will allow that kind of ship, especially in a game movie that is targeted for kids. And the most famous one, and the one that I myself support, and I am not hiding it, Son Amy, Sonic and Amy. Now, in the games, Amy has a crush on Sonic. However, Sonic tends to be annoyed by this and would run away from Amy. This all started back in Sonic's CD when Amy used tarot cards to meet up with her special someone on Little Planet, only for her to find Sonic, but ended up being kidnapped by Metal Sonic. Nowadays, Amy isn't that big of a stalker to Sonic, so Sonic isn't that annoyed to Amy anymore. However, just because Sonic is annoyed by Amy's infatuation, it doesn't mean that Sonic doesn't show feelings for Amy. Like for example in Sonic Frontiers with some unused dialogue.
Wish we were sharing an umbrella, Amy. Amy, I should have made up my mind sooner.
However, since this is Amy's first Sonic movie, I would not be surprised if Amy mentions tarot cards with My Sweet Passion from Sonic Adventures being played somewhere in the film. I mean, Sonic 3 threw in Live and Learn and it worked. However, my prediction is that Amy may show her feelings to Sonic, but just like in the games, Sonic may be annoyed by Amy's infatuation. Now maybe as time goes on with more movies, Sonic and Amy's relationship will grow. But I have little to no hope seeing it happen so quickly in the next film. So there you have it. Those are the predictions that I think might happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see ya!